Welcome back to another coffee chat with Tiaan Herselman, head of Old Mutual Wealth Proposition, where today we talk all things budget and some of the legislation that came out of that as a result. Now, Tiaan, even in an election year, interest in budget, one that showed fiscal discipline. We had a surplus for the first time since 08, 09. There were some mixed reactions having drawn from the GFECRA account. Your views on that?
First of all, Dave, I think I need to find some new friends because I'm the only person that gets excited for the budget speech. But I think the initial negative sentiments from a lot of South Africans was understandable because we didn't see an inflationary adjustment for the income tax tables, which in simple terms means that in a world where inflation goes up, expenses goes up, you almost want the income tax tables to also go up with inflation. Otherwise, in real terms, in today's buying power, you're actually earning less. But I do think there's one thing that we want to highlight, which is there was a lot of concern about wealth taxes in an election year. And there's a lot of things that weren't mentioned in the budget speech, which I think we should actually hone in for a second in terms of financial planning and how it affects your investments. We didn't see a change of capital gains tax rates. We didn't see any adjustments in dividends tax rates. Estate duty rates remain unchanged. We also didn't see a change in donations tax rates. And the exemptions for capital gains tax and interest remain unchanged. Which means if I'm a financial planner and I'm sitting with clients or even an investor, the question is, where do I invest if I'm saving for financial independence or retirement? And the two obvious vehicles that come to mind is always your retirement annuity that helps you save on tax. 27.5% you can contribute of your taxable income and lower your income tax bill. And then there's the obvious no-brainer, the tax-free investment. But we've always said any good financial plan is based upon three pillars. And it's getting the balance between income longevity, tax efficiency, and liquidity.
Now, you mentioned liquidity, which brings us on to an interesting point. The legislation that came out as a result of the budget was around two-pot, where it was then confirmed that two-pot will come into being on 1st of September. Now, what is your view? How are the clients taking it out in the market? Is there any confusion around it?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of confusion with two-pot. It's actually three pots, which I think the naming convention, first of all, doesn't help because there's a vested pot, a savings pot, and a retirement pot. But without going into all of that detail, I actually even ventured as far as to post some TikTok videos to kind of see how South Africans are gauging this two-pot topic. And the one thing that came out was a lot of confusion. So I think the next 6, 7, 8 months, as this two-pot system is rolled out, it's embedded, clients and financial planners are having conversations. I think the role of the financial planner is going to be more important now to simplify and show the impact of two-pot on your financial plan. Now, the biggest issue with two-pot, the question we always get asked is, well, what's the impact going to be if I access my savings pot, which you can do from the 1st of September. And then after that, a third of all contributions can now be accessed. And the obvious answer, well, is if you save less, you'll have less. But there's a bit more nuance to that. You see, when you get to retirement, in most cases, you can access 1/3 of your retirement capital. For provident funds, maybe a little bit more, but in most cases, you can get 1/3. And the first 550,000 is normally tax-free. Now, that's a tap that you can open up at any point in time in retirement. But if you deplete your savings pot, it means that that tap is no longer available in retirement, which means things such as vehicle purchases, maybe even starting your own business, kids' education, travel, any big liquid capital items can no longer be funded for. And that, I think, is a conversation that's going to become more and more relevant as we move closer to the two-pot system. I think financial planners are going to spend more time educating clients, but also honing in on this liquidity conversation in their overall financial plan.
Yes, but that's all very well in the theory, Tiaan. But how does a financial planner make this tangible to clients? A client that's already under extreme pressure if they want to pay off debt or if they want to do some consumer spending.
That's what makes financial planning such a difficult profession, is how do I illustrate in real time the impact of good decision making into the future? And at Old Mutual Wealth, we think the best way to do that is to actually utilize technology. And we've, over the years, through a lot of engagement with financial planners and with clients, built a financial planning tool referred to as the Wealth Integrator, where you can, in real time, Dave, illustrate the value of good decision making for clients. So as an example, you get to retirement, you've been saving for 20 or 30 years, how much should you be drawing as a lump sum? If you take the full 1/3, only the 550K tax-free, how much should you be drawing from your post-retirement investment, maybe your living annuity? Because if you draw little on the living annuity, great, you pay less tax, but it means you again depleting that liquid pot. So this combination of tax efficiency, income longevity, and liquidity is easily demonstrated in real time for clients. And I think over the next 6 to 7 months, as we get closer to a two-pot, as we see clients asking the question, shouldn't I access that 10% once off, or shouldn't I access that 1/3 of my savings pot contributions? I think the best way to illustrate it is by doing it in real time, showing clients the benefit of not accessing that savings pot. And that also helps you demonstrate the value of your advice.
Tiaan, insightful as ever, making it relevant to both clients and financial planners. Thank you. Join us again next time for an Old Mutual Wealth Debrief Exchange.